Hey, Todd here, Center Rally Customs. Welcome back to those of you that follow the channel. Welcome to everyone else. Back on the Chevelle. Troy's here and Odin's here also. I don't know what we're going to get to on this video, to be honest with you. This is really just going to be buttoning things up and connecting things. All the loose ends that aren't necessarily fun to watch but need to be done to finish your project. We got some radiator hoses. I'll show you what we found with that later. I bought a couple brackets for this computer off eBay. I think they were 10 bucks. Initially, this harness that we have is made to go in the car on the passenger side, but in order to get it in there, there's a heater core and all the HVAC stuff in here, and we live in Wisconsin, so we need to keep that. At least, bare minimum, you need defrost, because getting up in the morning or whatever, driving it to work, you need to be able to defrost the window. But what we plan on doing is putting the computer right in this area. So that's what we'll start with. But we also got 16-inch cooling fan. We'll wire that up. And then we got ourselves a drive shaft. So but we need U-joints. I got one, but I don't know if it's right, so we'll play with that when we get that far. But to start, get that computer mounted down, and then probably move on to this cooling fan. So let's get that going. So originally we talked about putting this computer inside like a battery box or some kind of box to keep water and stuff off of it. But these brackets are cheaper and more or less not as much screwing around. So that's what I'm saying we can just bend this tab down a little bit and hopefully catch that. Let's just try to get these two first. Then we can always bolt it down and then alright, that's all tucked in there with these brackets, bolted in, all four corners. Nice. Kind of hidden. Hopefully won't get too much dirt and grime on them. We'll see. It's Taylor's car, so I don't really care. But we get some of this wiring put back on that I tore out for the headlight and stuff. Then we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, this is a 16-inch El Cheapo eBay special cooling fan. I don't know how well it's going to work, to be honest, but it was like 45 bucks or something. Pretty cheap. This is a push or pull type. We want to pull because we're going to put it on the inside. It just goes on with these zip tie things that you use in any other auxiliary fan situation. So I'm going to start getting this thing wired up. It comes with a relay and a fuse and all that other garbage. So it should be fairly straightforward to put in. Not too bad. I think this radiator is like 18 by 22. So I tried to get the biggest one that would, you know, cover the majority of the radiator. I was going to get two 10-inch, but I found this one. So we're going to ride with this one until it doesn't work. And then we'll put something different in it. But just to get started, we'll just get this zipped in as center as possible. Alright, these got these little clippies here that just slide in. You can go on this side or this side. It actually comes with some springs and all that other garbage, but we're not going to use that. We're just going to stab these through here and hope it works. Oh boy. Okay, there's one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth one down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth one down. And I just kind of eyeballed this. I don't know if it's centered or not. Oh, that one's going to be a... Oh, that one's got the tranny cooler in the way. Son of a
go all the way through the
bitch.
cooler?
No, you shouldn't. Son of a gun. That's going to be fun. Probably going to have to take that out. Actually, what we can do, now that I put all of these bolts in this thing, we can fold this back and zip it through. So I'll just leave this one kind of wangle-dangle for now. Let's zip this one tight though. Give me that, those. Stay. So they come with these little foam pieces. I'm going to put these foam pieces on the inside of the radiator so it doesn't hurt the radiator, I guess. Hopefully that's in a good spot because we're kind of committed now. Alright, we got to take this radiator out because the tranny cooler is in the way. Of course, I just put these bolts in also. Except these, or I'll kick them all over the place. Okay, stuff this thing through. Okay, you got one of them thingamajingers. Okay, that one's good. Hey, yeah, that one's tight. I might be able to get to that one, maybe.
That little clip fell off the bottom there.
Ah, shish kebab. Alright, this came with a relay and all the wiring for this. I'm going to mount this relay right in here, which the overflow will cover this. So actually kind of clean it up a little bit. But we'll mount this, then we got a ground. Blue wire, I think is power for the fan. Through the relay anyways, through the contacts. Red is hot, which probably should go to a keyed source so that when you shut the key off, it'll shut off for sure. But I might end up running this right to the battery, which is... Actually, I take that back. This one for sure should go to the battery. I lied. So this will go directly to the battery. Blue wire, I think, is just power to the fan. White wire is the signal from the computer. So from the computer in our loom, that'll tell the fan to turn on. And then ground this somewheres, anywheres, and then also this ground will go to the fan also. So that should be it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No problems yet. Okay, mount this bad boy up and then worry about all this garbage later. Alright, we got this all wired up. Something I like to do with these relays is the relay itself is held up, not the socket or the base, I guess you'd call it. So I like to run a zip tie all the way around. That way when these vibrate, they don't fall out because it's happened to me already. I did have to run a wire from inside the car because what I was starting to say before is the computer is a ground. So the computer will tell the relay to switch based on the temperature sensor, whatever, feedback from there to tell that to turn on. But this is a ground, so you need to run power to the one side of the relay and then the computer will switch the ground. What we wanted to do was use the original temperature sender wire, which is under here, but it doesn't have 12 volts on it and there's no continuity and I have no effing clue where it goes underneath the car, or inside the car I should say. So I ended up running a brand new wire all the way from inside there all the way to here. So now I have HP Tuners, the scanner open, and in here you can do special functions or something, system, fans. I should be able to turn this fan on once I click on. Look at that. Pulling, perfect. Works great. Turn this off. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we can put that upper radiator hose on and probably some heater hoses. And that's damn near about as far as we can go today with the parts that we have. So let's do that. Alright, so radiator hoses. I have no idea what that came off of. So I can't even tell you what the part number or anything for that bottom radiator hose is. Except for I do know that we use one of these adapters to go from a smaller size to a bigger size. Because that end is like 1 3/4 and that end I think is like 1 5/16 or something like that. For the upper hose, a lot of people said to use like 2003 Corvette hoses, but they're only 1 1/4 in diameter, and we have 1 1/2, and then again I think this is 1 5/16 or something, I don't remember, but smaller. So the Corvette one is 1 1/4 on both ends, which we're not stretching an 1 1/4 hose over this end. So I found this hose just by wandering around in the AutoZone, which is number 70548. I have no clue what this is for, but it's 1 1/2 on both ends. So again, we're using one of these adapter things, which is this number 76950. Whatever, for the top. So I stuck this on, cut it flush with the end of the hose, or the whatever, neck, and then we'll just stuff this on. It does sit a little high, which isn't ideal, but it's the best hose we could find to make this work. And it's for Taylor, so I don't give a shit. So, so he shows up after the work's done, so. Alright, put that on, and then I got hoses to run, heater hoses, and yeah. Alright, we got heater hoses on here now. We're going to run this for a while and put some water in it. We only had 1 big gallon of straight antifreeze, not the mix. So I don't know how much we can really put in here to make sure that it's mixed correctly, but we want to run it long enough to at least see if the fan's going to kick on, and try to fill it up as much as we can to like a 50-50 mix at least. So, alright. It almost kick on, 162. There it went. It's on. Shut it off. I think we should try to take this hose off, try to dump water down it, because I'm worried that this being too high.
Was your thermostat should
that's
start
dry
opening
though.
here anymore.
That's dry, and I don't think there's not enough. The radiator's full. There's no water in the.
Yeah,
block.
that's why I don't want the block to get
pull
too
that
hot
off and dump water down
directly into the motor.
there. Getting pretty full there.
Huh?
It's dribbling out the radiator though, so it must hit her.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So it must be. Well, the water pump's full anyway.
you think we should put another one in it, or wait?
Well,
Well,
because the water pump's.
I think put another one. If anything, we can get some straight antifreeze and dump straight antifreeze in it.
Yeah.
We can always test it eventually and make sure that we have enough.
yep.
There's
Oh,
spigot
right there, right by your ass there.
I don't want to use that one.
Too bad.
Tell you what, that is handy. Having the spigot right there.
You know, we could have just brought the hose over here. I did that twice now. All right, the thermostat hasn't opened yet, but we got water circulating through the heater core. That's warm. So we're just gonna run her until she gets hot, I guess, and hopefully the thermostat opens before bad things happen. Circulating now. Circulating. I don't know why I don't want to idle though. Hey, new day. So yesterday we got some things buttoned up. We got heater hoses on, radiator hoses, this fan mounted and wired, and the computer all mounted good. We put a little bit of coolant in it and then filled it up with water. So we're going to have to drain some water out, put actual antifreeze in it, especially because we live in Wisconsin. But be careful also when you're running these. Make sure your highest point should be where you're filling it. And if you can tell, this hose is a little higher than our radiator. So make sure you don't vapor lock your motor or something. Whatever. Make sure your block's got enough water in it to circulate. So once it's got up to temperature, it didn't want to idle. And that could be a handful of things. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a tuner. But some of the things I read online could be this idle air control. I took this apart, took this off, and turned the key on to make sure it was moving. If you do that, just know that the little plunger and the spring may go flying off and take you 20-25 minutes to find it. So probably not in the best interest to do that. But regardless, it could be idle air control. O2s are just like 3 inches from the end of the exhaust, so it could be getting air in them. No mass airflow. There's a handful of things that it could be, but before I go on the computer and just start changing a bunch of stuff, I want to make sure we got the exhaust on and kind of weed out a couple of the things that it could potentially be. So instead of working on this, we're going to move to wiring. And I'm not going to make you watch it, but I just want to show you what I'm dealing with here. So you can already see from previous videos, we got wires hanging and dangling all over the place. Over there, coming across the back, whatever. All that. That's actually not that bad up here. And I have brand new loom that I plan on looming all this up. But before I do that, I want to make sure I got all of our circuits that we need. So I'm not putting loom on, pulling loom off, putting loom on, all that kind of garbage. But today, this is my plan. This is what I'm dealing with. So we got wires hanging everywhere, okay? There, we got wires coming out of here, going over this way, going up there. We got wires over there, going that way, going over there. So, I'm going to try to clean some of this up. If it doesn't belong there, or we don't need it, it's going. First thing I'm going to start off with for sure is getting rid of that stupid third tail light thing somebody put in here. It looks dumber than hell. So that's kind of my plan today. I'm going to take those snippers right there and just go to town under there and all in here and over there. I'm going to make Edward Scissorhands look like he's never even touched a scissors before. So this should be a blast. Like I said, I'm not going to make you watch this because it's just going to be me laying under there. So that's all I'm going to do today. So I don't know. Yo, new day. So day before, I removed some wires. Beautiful, huh? I don't know. Oh, this is for my light. This is for what should be a dome light up there. I'm not sure why they use such heavy gauge wire. And then under the dash, look at that. That wire is for our fans. And I had to fix a few wires. Like this one they had cut. This lime green one they had cut way up here somewheres. Yeah, cut all this crap out. Cut some stuff out over there. Much better. Although I ended up in the trunk because one of those wires that they spliced or cut and then spliced a wire all the way to the back went to the blinker. So I had to fix that. And actually I fixed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots in here. And that's kind of where I gave up back here, because I don't think these sockets are correct. I ordered, although they have the correct color wiring, I don't know. I ordered 2 new sockets for the back taillights because they don't fit very good in the hole anymore, and that's pretty much the main reason. Also, let's see. Oh, we don't have rear running lights or brake lights. So I did some testing and I had a jumper wire jumped over. The wiring's all good, you know, from up there at that connector all the way back to the back. If I jump power to it, it works. But I don't think we're getting power from the switch. So I ordered a new headlight switch also because it was like 20 bucks. I didn't pull the switch out to check if we're getting... We get power to the headlights, but we don't get power to the taillights. So I was looking at the wiring diagram, and I think maybe that power comes from 2 different places. I could be wrong. So really what I need to do is I need to pull the switch and all the wiring down from the switch to see if we have power to the switch for the taillights. But if I'm going to pull all that out, I'm putting a new switch in. So I'm not doing that until I get the new switch here. So this is the rat's nest I pulled out of here, so far anyways. But today, we're going to move on to more wiring. Fun. Okay, so today, what I plan on doing, I don't know if I'm going to make you watch this or not, because nobody likes watching people wire things. But I'll at least explain to you what I plan on doing, so for your project, maybe you can do the same or understand maybe a little better. So today, anyways, what I'm going to do is, like I said, this computer and this harness was made intentionally to go inside the car, but we're not doing that. So what I'm going to do is run all the wires that we need from here, this area, you know, these wires here and these wires here, inside the car. Now I'm only going to run the wires that we need. So what we have here still is I'm going to run inside the speedometer. We don't know what we're going to do with the speedometer, but if we ever want to add one, at least the wire will be inside. The tach, run the tach wire inside. We already have the fan 1. We don't need fan 2. We don't need a park neutral signal because I removed that from the computer. Mainly what we're getting after today is this TCC ground. So we need to run a wire off a brake switch for the torque converter lockup. So I went and I got a different brake switch, and there's a lot of stuff online about this, but to be honest, I still kind of, I don't want to say got confused, but it was kind of hard to figure out if these contacts should be closed or open when the brake is not pressed. So originally in this car, like still has it in here, I haven't taken it out, only has one set of contacts for the brake switch. So this is what gets confusing about it. You have a normally open or normally closed switch. So what that means is that when it's in its normal state, nothing touching it, whatever, it's either open or the contacts are closed. With the brake switch, the brake is always pressing against the button here. Okay, so is this normally open or normal state, or is this normal state? That's what gets me a little confused, because in my brain, when I think normally open or normally closed, the switch in a normal state or state of nothing, just out in air, just like this, is like this, not when the brake pedal is pushing it. So I don't know. Long story short, what I found out is that when you press the brake pedal, there should be this should be open. Okay, so there should be no continuity between these plugs. This one here, these two, are for the brake lights, and this is going to be for our torque converter. So if if you really want to check this like I did, you put this bad boy on horseshoe mode, which it is. Then you take these, put them across there, it'll beep. If it beeps, you have continuity. If it doesn't, you don't. So whatever. I tested this to make sure it was what I needed. This is out of an 84 Camaro IROC Z28, whatever. And this is part number SLS 110. So hopefully the original brake light wiring, switch wiring, will just still go on these 2 pins. And then I can just take some spade connectors like this and stick them on here. Boop, somehow, like that, okay? So, that's how that's gonna work. That will go to this purple wire. So you run a 12 volt switched to the one side of the switch, and then the purple wire to the other side. You want switch power or accessory power. You do not want constant power. Specifically, set it online, because if you start the vehicle, if you have your foot on the brake, it'll lock the converter right away. Or unlock it, lock it, whatever. I don't know. You can start the vehicle with the converter locked, and it'll be locked when you start it, and that's what you don't want, apparently. So, that is going to be the gist of today. I got some black wires here that I'm going to solder on to the end of these wires so that they're long enough to get inside. All these we don't need. Like I said, one of them's a fan. I think 2 of them are for cruise control maybe. One's for like check engine light, and the other one is park neutral safety. So those we don't need, so I'll just like kind of wrap them up nicely and tuck them in this fender well here with the rest of the wires. So, whew, I'm out of breath. That's the agenda for today. Oh, also what I'm going to do is I have one of these bus bars, I guess you'd call it, I don't know, junction point. I'm going to put that under the dash for all the accessory power, because on the fuse panel there is a spade, little spade for accessories, which is nice, and it's all fused and everything already. So I'm going to run a wire from that one spade to one end of this, and then I'm going to put all my other stuff, fan, that power for that, tack, any lights on the dash, you know, for the oil pressure or the tack, any accessories that I need, I can go right to that junction point, and I don't have to make it look like crap, more or less. So that's my agenda for the day. Like I said, I probably won't make you watch all this because it's just wiring. New day, once again. Yesterday I went to Iola. Went to Iola yesterday, car show, big car show, Wisconsin, whatever. A lot of people go there. Vice Grip Garage was there. Flying Sparks, I think, the girl and the guy, I don't remember what their name is. They were there. I didn't see them. I only saw Derek Beery for about 30 seconds, and then we wandered off and did whatever we were going to do. So today it is hot, like incredibly hot for Wisconsin anyways, for me, and humid. Taylor came over the other day. We started putting the U-joints in this drive shaft. We got this side done. What was in this were 2 1310s. On this side, we needed to go from a 1310 to a 1330. The 1330 is wider, so this end is wider than this end. And then I went to grab the camera to record the other end, because we need to put a 1310 to, I think, a 1330 big end, which is the same width as a 1350, but the cap size is a little different. I'm not really sure. Anyway, regardless, the U-joint that we got is the wrong one. Actually, they sent us the wrong one. He ordered the right one, but they sent us the wrong one. So that put a whole kibosh in that whole ordeal. So I don't know, we're frustrated. It was hot. We went and got food, and that was the end of that. I'm also trying to get those out because of the overall width of the 1310. We actually had to grind the inside of these out, this end and this end, in order to get this out of the end of the drive shaft. There's just, I don't know, not enough room to push this all the way to one side to get the cap out. So we had to MacGyver that. So that's kind of why we were just over it and done with it. So anyway, that's all water under the fridge. Today, gas pedal. I ordered this gas pedal off eBay. It's supposed to be like a LS swap. I don't know. I assume it's out of something OEM, but I don't know. I'm going to make it work for this. So, kind of show you what I got here. There was a piece already on here that I hacked off. It's laying right there. My plan is I found a hunk of 3x4 square tube that I cut, whoops, extremely crudely. Kind of show you what my plan is with this whole ordeal. So what my plan kind of is, hopefully you can see this. There's a nice flat spot right here on the firewall. My plan is to weld the square tube to that, and bada bing bada boom. All right, looks okay. This end, probably gonna have to cut this piece off, but this rod end here, we're gonna have to cut and MacGyver somehow to come up into here. Our throttle cable will probably come through up in here somewheres. So hopefully we can MacGyver this somehow to sit something like so. So I'm going to grab the grinder. I'm going to clean this up here as best I can. And then we'll throw a couple Tic Tacs on this piece to there and kind of see about how to put it. All right, let's get this cleaned up here. Hopefully. I cleaned up nice. Let's see here. It's not terrible. Try to clean this up a little more over here. Alright, get the welder in here, maybe measure a little bit, and then get it all tacked in. Alright, so before I got too crazy, I got that all ground and cleaned up inside. I wanted to get this throttle cable through, because once I put that big hunk of 4-inch piece on there, well, 4 by 3-inch, whatever, that piece that I adapted to the gas pedal, once I get that on there, I would not have been able to get my drill in there to drill a hole. So I was able to get this cable kind of looped down through here, and I drilled a hole here. Luckily, I was able to get the old 90 in there to drill that hole out. So we got the cable coming inside here, which I don't have lights anymore because I needed my extension cord. But anyway, so I got the cable right here. So now we just need to figure out how to adapt this side to there once I get this welded in. But I don't have any tube or like round tube for that, so that will have to wait for another day. But we can at least get that gas pedal tacked in there. I'll go grab some measurements off my Tundra just to see how far off the floor it is or whatever. And we'll see if we can get it zapped in quick. Alright, so I am literally just going to kind of eyeball this in here. I don't know. My truck and my Camaro both have this gas pedal about level with the bottom of this pedal. I don't think we can get up that high. What am I hitting? Oh, there's a nice... I'm going to take that off quick. There's a sheet metal screw sticking through here I'm going to grind off. All right, here's the grind. Convenient. All right, nice. Anyway, as I was saying, the pedal is pretty much level with the bottom of the brake pedal. And on my car, it's about 2 inches away. On my truck, it's 3 inches. So literally, I'm probably just going to kind of eyeball this and just zap it in kind of where I think looks okay. Like right there. No glasses, nothing, just give her. Oh, come on. Okay. How's that look? Is it straight? Straight-ish? Straight-ish. I'm going to try to twist it a hair if I can. It's probably going to break my weld. Something like that. Grab another one in there. Okay. Something like so. I hope. How much room we got here? 2 inches. Ish. Alright. Something like that should work. Like I said, we're gonna have to cut this bracket, and honestly I'm probably gonna have to cut this off also, and then we'll run this arm over to this cable. So actually, I mean, I probably honestly, if I cut this off here, I could probably just heat this up and bend it, and bam, it would probably reach and everything just like that. Well, I got it all welded in and I'm sitting on my bucket. I feel like it's too high. I think I'm going to try to peel it off and drop it a couple inches. The floor pan in this car is below the frame rail, which I believe the original floor pan would have been almost level. So with the spacing between the floor, get the light out of here, between the floor and the pedal, there's a lot of gap there. It's not terrible, but I don't know. I'm going to try to drop that down a little bit and see how that goes. Alright, I've had this in a handful of times, moving it up and down and left and right and whatnot, and I think I got it to a point where it feels normal. Should work pretty good, I think. Wham, 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 wham. If you don't make car noises to yourself, you're not a real car person. So that's in, that's good. Now I just got to connect that end to the cable somehow, which I'm not going to do today, and it'll be done. Well, I think I'm going to end this video right here. Handful of stuff done. Like I said, this video is going to be more full of just miscellaneous garbage. The last 10% takes 90% of the time, and it's not fun to watch, but it needs to be done. But that's it. Nothing too exciting here, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Next time, we should be able to get the drive shaft in, which is laying over there in the garbage pile, and see if the wheels go roundy round. I got a headlight switch coming. I can wire that in so we get tail lights and brake lights. Fuel, hopefully we'll be doing that next. And yeah, get her going. So as always, thanks for watching if you made it this far. Stick around to see what else we got. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up a transmission for that LS motor that I got. So I have a whole drivetrain set up and figure out what the heck that's going to go in. So I have no idea. But it is what it is. Like I said, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever, all that garbage. Catch you on the next one.